Hey guys, this is HERES. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we've got quite an interesting event going on right now, and I would say if you're in the mix, if you've been a reasonable, length player, it's worth getting involved. So right now we've got the Summon Pool event going on in the Altar of Souls, where we've got this kind of like desired soul summon pool, and there's some big champs in this. Okay, we've got some big champions in terms of legendaries. If you own the legendaries, Armand's is in here, Trunda's in the mix, Narcissus and Kora's in there, Sifi. Like, there's some big hitters floating around, and a bunch of them are actually either X fusions or champions that we just could obtain, like a Seal's in there, Lydia's in there as well. So feels like it's a good group of legendaries. And then for epics, again, champs that we use a ton: Godseeker, Deacon, Geo, Allure's in there, Stag's in there. Like, these are champions which are top tier in a whole bunch of content as you work your way through the game. And for this summon pool, you get a decent enough chance of getting a big boy soul. And souls make a big difference to your account. So we're talking about a 1 in 4 chance it's going to be a legendary, and then what, like a 1 in 3, 1 in 4 chance that it's going to be like a 4-star plus, which is really what you want. 4 stars where the game starts to change when it comes to souls. So definitely worthwhile, I'd say, in terms of like trying to pick up anything that we can in terms of freebies to get a go, right? So that's the first thing. Now, this then like laps into this Finite tournament, which has just started, where it's an epic only Finite tournament. So you've got, it's a decent amount. I would say it's only worth doing if you're not doing the current fusion, by the way, and I'm not. But if you're not doing the current fusion and you've got energy to burn this week, we've basically got 3 days here worth of time to try and get 45 fragments. And that 45 fragments gives you, I think it's a guaranteed pull, right? Yeah, 1 guaranteed pull. So well worth doing. It's also worth saying, don't do the pull until tomorrow when we got the Clan v Clan active, because it is a personal rewards one. And you do get points for pulling those souls. Where is it? I think it's in here. You get points for ascending, but you also get points, I'm pretty sure, for obtaining. Here you go. Obtaining souls. And it's a pretty chunky amount of points. So if you do manage to get a 4-star plus legendary, you're talking 5k points in the bag straight away. So that's well worth doing. So what I wanted to do is just kind of like show you a team that I've put together just now, but then also talk about options for champs in the squad. And what I'm going to do is farm stage 20. 20 on normal, because it's the easiest place to get to just have like a decent speed of farm, and much easier to farm that level with epics than it would be to like go into hard and stuff like that. So what I've picked out of my squad is Deke, basically someone who's going to do AoE drop defense. This could be Stag Knight, could be Deacon, could be any of the decent drop defense champs, but I think Deacon and Stag are the two kind of like real kind of top end ones. I've got Ruella in the team, who is really good at being a multi-hitter to help us break that shield. She also brings us debuffs that we want for the boss. I've got the Fat Man and Morag in my team, both ally attack champions. So you don't need +4s and stuff. It's just what they are on my account. But basically coming in with additional champs to break the shield. So in my setup, I turn off their ally attack mechanics until we get to the boss. Morag actually is so top tier because her AoE does tons of damage as well. So if you build a fairly high damage Morag, she's going to burn her way through the teams pretty well. In fact, because mine's a 6-star soul, I'm just going to change her blessing here to Crushing Rend, and she should absolutely melt the waves. And then I've got Allure, who's the best turn meter control champion in the game. At stage 20, even though she's the wrong affinity, she's still top tier. Okay, so she's still well worth bringing in. She brings multiple hits on her A1, and she drops turn meter. Skimfoss, by the way, really good in this role. Yeah, Skimfoss good in this role. And you don't need both ally attack champions. You could just bring one and then just bring someone else who's going to bring multi-hits. We'll go through some other options in a sec, but I'll let this one play through first so you can get a feel for what we're doing. Deep open with the drop defense. We then start to bring some AoE damage where I can. Get some good hits in from Morag. She's a beast. And everyone else just kind of like cleans up. Wasted my drop defense. I probably should change that actually so that he doesn't use it again. I should change it so he doesn't use it again. We do get a weak source drop defense. It could be now, by the way, that if you've got a blessing on your allure, that you change her to the blessing that could change weak drop defense to big drop defense. That could be quite useful. But I think Phantom Touch on any of the epics that you put into these teams is solid because it's going to give you another hit on the shield. Phantom Touch is the blessing which will give you one more stack. We've only got 10 to get through though, so any ally attack here is going to break us through and give us some turn meter drop. We then get a drop defense and weaken. Should have got decreased speed from Ruella as well. It might be that mine's actually got a little bit too low accuracy. Haven't checked my build on her. And then we just start smashing him up basically. And Allure, even though she's the wrong affinity, she should still keep turn meter down really effectively. So she's like obviously a top tier epic. But as I say, Skimfost in this role will do the same. He will keep turn meter down for the whole fight. And actually Ruella does a decent job of keeping turn meter down as well. So you know, I'm just bringing in like, I guess, optimal few different champions here that can do a good job. Obviously, it's going to take something close to 2,700 energy, so it might be that you do this over 2 days. But I'm definitely going to get it done because I think that soul is worth going to fight for. Now, let's just take a look at other epics in the mix here that could do some job, do a job for you. So I'm just going to bring in the Vault as well. Some really good epics that people overlook. So we've got champs like Senacia, really good against waves, especially if you pair her alongside Skullcrown. The two together actually decimate waves, and they do get some extra hits in against the boss. So that's pretty good. You've got now this fella here, Pan, actually really solid. Double hit on the A1. He's got an AoE hit, which hits hard. That's going to do some good damage against waves, whilst bringing you some extra utility against the boss. Triple hit against on the A3, which also brings you weaken. So he's actually bringing you a nice debuff. He's bringing you some damage for waves, and he's bringing you a lot of multi-hits. So Pan's actually pretty damn good and fairly unheard of, I guess. Who else have we got in the mix that you should think about? Wave clearers, Royal Guard, alongside Royal Guard with his kind of like AoE wave clear on the A2. But he's also got a nice quad hit for the boss, which brings decreased speed and drop turn meter. So Royal Guard's also someone that could come into teams and do a good job. It's actually a nice combo as well with Helmet and Seer, if you've got Seer. So you can do the buff rip with Seer, and Helmet is giving you your multiple buffs. So that's a good way to clear out one of the waves. It's probably the quickest way that you can clear out a wave of enemies in terms of Finite. Phoenix is a bit of an unsung hero as well, so he's able to bring a lot of AoE damage for the waves. He's also bringing you drop defense and speed on the boss, so actually he's not a bad dude to be bringing in. Luria is also a good wave killer, so she's got this triple hit AoE which hits hard on her A2, and then she's got a decent turn meter drop on the A3 for the boss part of the fight as well. You've got Creoden the blue. Okay, he's normally used on hard Finite, but he still brings a decent amount of control for waves. So you've got the kind of double hit freeze on the A2, and then he's got a good triple hit and double hit for the boss, whilst also bringing you turn meter feel and speed. So Creodan also really solid. Geo shouldn't be overlooked for the boss as well. He's actually going to be able to drop the turn meter down on his A3 once you get kind of through the shields. Fane is another good boss killer. Double hit, triple hit on the boss, whilst also bringing you a bunch of debuffs, and she hits hard. So you've actually got a lot of options here, I think, to be able to get the job done. Don't discount Tyrell as well in terms of his double hit A1, AoE drop defense for waves, and then turn meter drop on the A3. So yeah, tons of different options here to get this done, especially if you're going back to like stage 20 Finite, or even if you're just trying to get something done at your level. You know, you might be on like stage 16 or something, and trying to get the job done. But I think super accessible teams nowadays with epics. There's a lot of strong epics. There's definitely a lot of strong wave clearers, and I will definitely be picking up that shard to do myself a little try my luck tomorrow in the Altar of Souls. So there you go, guys. Hopefully that's helpful. Good luck if you're in the mix, and yeah, I will see you in the next one.